What's up? Welcome back to Dented Cans. It's your host, Mike Fenoya. Thank you guys for listening. If you're enjoying the podcast, do me a favor, rate, review, subscribe. You can watch these on youtube.com/@Mike Fenoya, MikeFinoia. Hit subscribe. If you want some bonus content, you can go to patreon.com/Mike Fenoya. And I'm building it. Join over there, and we will figure it out together. Fun episode today. Kunal Aurora joins the podcast. Real funny comedian. Such an interesting dude. We know each other from bouncing around the clubs, and I thought he would be an interesting chat, and he sure was. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I love chatting with him, and he'll come back. Make sure you follow him, and I'll put all his info in the show notes. Guys, my special, Don't Let Me Down, is out on YouTube. Go to my page, watch it, like it, make a comment. Let me know that you're finding out about it from this pod. It goes a long way. And as always, we would like to thank our great sponsor, Sunset Lake CBD. Farm-crafted, high-quality CBD products from the 802 up in Burlington, Vermont. Amazing salves, amazing tinctures, amazing gummies. They just redid their Good Vibes gummies, which are fantastic. I highly recommend them. If you go to sunsetlakecbd.com and use promo code DENTED, that's DENTED, you will get 20% off your entire purchase. That's sunsetlakecbd.com, promo code DENTED for 20% off your entire purchase. I'm glad you're here.
Glad to be here. I can never,
No, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how glad I'm going to be until this is done.
What are you worried about?
I mean, I'm worried that it's going to stink.
Like what part?
The entire thing. What do you mean?
Well, why would you think a whole hour podcast is going to stink?
I've been a part of one.
Have you?
Yeah, I have.
How long in did you know it was going to be a shit podcast?
Minute 2.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
And you just sat through it?
I mean, what else was I supposed to do?
Were you the only guest?
No, I wasn't the only guest, but the other guy set it up, who was my co-host at the time, and then I started to just,
Oh, your own podcast.
No. It was me and another buddy were guests on some guy's podcast.
Yeah.
And then we just didn't I realized that the guy whose podcast we were doing was a psycho, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. So I was like minute 2, I'm like, well, if I'm not gonna say some obscene shit, then why am I here? What's the point?
It's bad when you do someone's podcast and it's like you feel like you're doing their radio show, like in their head.
Right. Yeah. And it's playing nowhere.
It's playing nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, no pressure.
Great.
So what do you want to talk about? I think you're extremely interesting.
Okay, good. Because I was curious as to why I was here.
Really? You don't think you're interesting?
No. I think I'm vastly interesting.
That's why I think you're interesting.
Okay, but I didn't think that you realized it.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. I was like, what's this guy? This guy don't know me for shit.
This guy?
Yeah, I mean,
Aren't we past that?
I mean, we are past that, but when I'm trying to distance myself from it, I go, what does this guy know about me?
What are you distancing from?
No, I didn't know anything. I'm like, what does he know or not know? Does he? I don't know if he thinks I'm interesting or not. Why am I here? You know what I mean?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I think you're interesting enough to ask to come do the podcast.
I'm happy to listen. I like you.
I like you.
That's
Did
why
you think I didn't?
No.
Sometimes people fucking think I'm a dick, and like some of my best friends have said when we first met, I hated you.
If anyone thinks that you're a dick now, that's crazy town.
Really?
Yeah, dude, you're like.
Why was I a dick then?
I don't know what you were then.
Oh,
I mean, you could have been.
Now?
Yeah, I'm sure you were a piece of shit then.
We all have been.
Yeah, I openly talk about my shitty behavior. I don't hide from it.
That's why I wanted to have you on.
Great.
Because the last time good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
I always like seeing you.
Okay,
and
same.
I'm always fascinated to kind of. You're someone who I feel like you're doing life your own way.
Right.
And one of the most interesting times, Jesus Christ, it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You were telling me about how, actually almost showing me how to pick locks. You were in this lock picking phase in your life, and it was this thing. Did I find the thing?
No, you didn't.
I was like, holy shit, this is fucking fascinating.
Right.
And I was like, all in.
Yeah.
And you're just walking around the city picking locks.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, what brings someone to to do that. And the thing that I thought about it not too much.
What did you think it was?
Well, a couple things. Number one, you grew up here. You grew up in Queens.
Right. I
think kids that grew up in the city are a whole other species of human.
Absolutely.
I think that there's some fucking thing that I'd love to know what it was like. Go outside and play with your friends. Like, what did that mean?
That means you stay around 1 square block.
That was it. The block.
The block.
You had the kids on the block,
That's
and
it.
They all knew that.
You venture off further. Not that you can do that, but you're likely to get mugged.
Mugged.
Yeah. Harassed.
As a child.
Yeah.
By other kids?
Other kids, older kids. You know, I've been mugged a bunch of times.
Did you ever mug anyone?
Did I ever mug anybody?
Well, can I?
Yeah.
What's a mugging when you're a kid?
A mugging the thing is this, mugging children is easy.
Because they're tiny little...
Yeah, it's not hard to mug a...
It's like mugging a puppy.
I'm going to tell you right now, we could mug a bunch of children on the way out of here.
That could be for the Patreon. You want to go mug a bunch of kids?
To be honest, it's not that hard.
I'm sure.
I did biceps today. I'm feeling real intimidating.
That's why you're coming in all fucking hot.
Yeah, but I just... It's just the...
it's your biceps.
Right, that's
you're
what
let me take the sweater off.
Yeah, I'm a shove a child. So you can... There's not much to get from them. You know, it's kind of like hunting squirrels.
Right.
The meat is low.
A little bit of meat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
You're maybe making a sock out of the pelts.
Exactly.
So in New York, I think that had a lot to do with your lock picking.
Yes, it does.
Is because you're a New Yorker. You live in one day, you're living what a suburban kid lives in a month.
This is why I started to go gray at like 26.
Because you grew up in New York?
Yeah, absolutely. There are other Indian people I know who grew up in like Texas, my age. Not one gray hair.
Friggin' Alingon Mitra's got beautiful hair.
Gorgeous, luscious hair. That's a mark of privilege. Piece of shit. He's a great guy. I love the dude.
I love him so much.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He may have been one of the first comics because we kind of came up together a little bit. He may have like a couple years on me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we did a New England's funniest comic whatever festival at Mohegan Sun. He won and I came in second, and I was like, this kid, I would vote for him for fucking president. Yeah. He just had a way of delivering and and he was so cool. You knew he was
No one
smart.
has ever said Alingon and cool together like this.
You don't think so?
I don't think he's cool. No, absolutely not.
As a comic, I think he is.
Okay, well then, yeah. I mean, I
don't know. Like, we know each other. We've had, we have a friendship, but it's like, I was just like, yeah, he totally deserves everything that comes his way.
That I will not argue.
I think he's brilliant.
Absolutely. He's brilliant. He's a hard worker.
Yeah.
He is all those things.
Extremely generous.
Very generous. Yeah. Giving, sincere, considerate. We can keep going. Yeah. And I will stop here. But cool is not where we go. I refuse to call that man cool.
With that amazing Rambo hair that he's got?
No.
John Rambo head? You don't think Alingon with John Rambo head is cool?
I don't know. I think I could even go sensuous if you want. I could even go like, you know what I mean? There's a sex appeal to it, but I refuse to call that man cool. I will quit comedy today if I call this man cool.
Then who's cool?
Who's cool?
Yeah. What's your definition of cool? When you think cool, who's the first person that pops in your head?
Man, I think Nico White is a cool guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Nico's good. New York City people I gravitate towards. That's my, you know what I mean? I'm a big, that's why I do those things that I do. That's why I go to the lock picking, because to me, I don't have respect for authority at all.
Okay.
Like just to come, and it's let me down, so why do I need to respect it in any which way?
I understand.
That's the way I look at authority.
I get it.
Are you that way?
I don't like authority at all.
Did they wrong you?
All the time.
Okay.
Constantly.
Like how so?
Well, in the sense of almost like I don't like hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Hypocrites are the worst, and I think that most adults that are given power don't know how to handle it, and they're so scared to lose it that it's just keep everybody under my thumb.
Exactly.
Don't question me because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
That's what it is.
Because then they have to be confronted with their own inferiorities.
Yeah. So if it's like, listen, don't cross the street, you may get hit by a car, or don't touch the fucking oven, you're going to burn your hand. Fine. Okay. Right. I get that. You've done it. You learned. But you know, I remember one time in high school, like they had this in the yearbook. It was like your favorite quote, your pet peeve, blah, blah, blah. My pet peeve was authority figures who misuse their power. Yeah. And the yearbook committee refused to.
Of course they did.
And I'm like, So there's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got you pieces of shit.
The glasses are off, man. I see all the
that's
bullshit.
It. I did arms today. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
But it's that thing of I don't like authority figures at all.
Yeah.
I've shied away from times where I've had to be one.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think that may be one of the reasons why I don't want to be a parent.
Interesting.
I don't want to be that. Like,
Right.
I don't want to be an authority.
Do you think that you would use? So you even have fear that you yourself would not be able to be good at power?
Yeah, and I also think that sometimes you become a thing without trying to be. Like, so if I don't know what it feels like to love unconditionally a child,
Right.
that is running across the street or experimenting with booze or all the thing. I find condoms in his room, whatever.
Right.
Like, now I'm that guy that's like, I love you so much that I don't know what to do with it, and I'm overwhelmed with this, and it scares the shit out of me.
Right.
So just do as I say. Don't do just.
But you would let the kid know all that.
Maybe.
Yeah, but it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna become this. You're gonna just let him know. Like, is like the fact that you're already worried about that means that you're 10 steps ahead of most of these other power tripping lunatic parents.
Right. Oh, of course. But
Yeah.
I worry about, I'm so much better of a parent than most parents, and it's because I don't have a kid.
Right.
But like, that's when everyone's like, you'd be a great dad. And I'm like,
Right.
because I don't have one.
Yes. Yes. They say
Yeah,
the same
you're
to
seeing
me.
calm me that gets to go home.
I want to see angry you.
You don't want to see angry me. But I feel like it's those pivotal. Did you have moments where, like someone fucks up and it kinks your hose? And now the water's flowing a totally different way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you kind of get let down by authority.
Okay.
Or let down by someone and you're like, ugh. And that tends to give like, you're now seeing things from a different place.
100%.
I worry about those moments with parenting or with, power where you go like, you snap at a kid or you whatever. And you kind of see, you like, see some dogs where like you raise a hand and they kind of like cower.
Yes, of
I would
course.
never want to be that
Right.
dog owner, that guy. So I am almost kind of just like, I shy away from
Right.
power. Doesn't sound to me that like you're shying away from power, but you're doing pretty cool little rogue. Picking locks is an interesting choice of things to do.
Yeah,
because you don't like power or authority.
Yeah, because I don't want to be told when I can or can't go to a place. Like if I see a park and they have it locked up, I'm like, why do I got to follow this?
Now, what is it? You just think you have rights to the park?
Yeah.
Because who's there to see?
Yeah.
I get that, but I'm asking just because I'm not like...
No, seriously. I'm not taking any right. I think that I should have rights to the park. I trust me.
I trust me.
Yeah.
That's great. Were you like... So you're not hurting anybody when you're breaking in?
No.
You're just running around unlocking the universe.
Yeah, all the things.
You're like fucking Zelda.
That's exactly. Did you see the bracelet?
No.
It's right there on the wrist.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No shit, dude.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Zelda bracelet for those who are looking. But like,
Is that your favorite game ever?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's what's thing called power, wisdom, and I want to say it's courage. That's what it is. Power, wisdom, and courage. Yeah, the three principles I try to live my life through. You know.
Power, wisdom, and courage.
Yeah.
Break those down for me.
Well, it's just like wisdom, obviously, right? That's kind of self-explanatory. Just to keep bringing that into one's own body, one's own universe, one's own mind. Power to me is a very like. It's temperamental, right? So it's like gaining some power and being okay with how you're using it, learning to pick locks, but knowing that I have to create some sort of compass in terms of not
A morality compass.
Morality
so you have
compass.
power over yourself.
Yes,
That's great.
right. I trust me. You know?
That's a great. Have you done anything with that yet?
No.
I trust me.
Yeah.
You got to do something with that.
There's a million things I gotta do.
I know. There's
Yeah.
a million things we all got to do.
Yeah, we all gotta do.
I trust me is a pretty. That's a mature fucking. When did you start trusting you? Always?
No. Absolutely not. I think if you always trusted yourself, that is the mark of a really
Sociopath?
sociopathic or an extremely privileged life. And I don't necessarily mean wealth. I mean like
People
just
telling you you're never wrong.
yeah, or just like someone the way that they raised you is so like filled with such confidence and all those types of things. And I don't have that.
No.
And I think that sort of runs into courage too, where you have to have the faith in oneself to make your own decisions, and the decisions that you're making are hopefully good ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you learn to pick locks?
The internet. YouTube.
Your first time picking one, were you like,
I could tell you. So I started a small, tiny lock.
You had a whole thing, remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have a whole kit of picking locks, but like I started on a really small one because I wanted to be able to do it wherever I was, and it was a small master lock. And this is the tip. This is the little tips and tricks that people that are listening are going to take with them. If you ever want to work on lock picking, practice on master locks. That company makes the most garbage locks ever.
And it's like it's the Home Depot of locks.
It's the most trusted brand.
Yeah.
You think locks, you think master.
What's so shitty about them?
They're just the quality in which they're made. They're easy to crack. The lock pickers tell you to practice on master locks. Yeah.
Lock pickers have a YouTube channel?
Yeah. Oh, so many YouTube channels. It's
You're
ridiculous.
kidding.
TikTok accounts. It's endless.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're out there just like doing, and they're always talking about, you don't want to be morally corrupt. I'm like, shut your mouth.
That's kind of like we're not giving medical advice.
Yeah. They're always
Yeah,
saying
it's
that
the
kind of
caveat,
stuff. They're like,
yeah.
don't use this to break in and give us a bad name. I'm like, shut your damn mouths. I'll do what I want. I mean, I'm not gonna.
I trust me.
I trust me. Like, but
Wow.
I understand the caveat.
Okay, so you went and got a master lock.
Yeah, tiny one, nothing crazy. And then I worked on that, and I was in Pittsburgh working on this tiny master lock, and I remember I finally cracked it. I was opening for Akash Singh, right? And he sees what and he knows that I get into all sorts of nonsense. And we'd been walking like during the day, like to just get out the Airbnb we were staying at.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I'm like, yo, there are locks on that bridge in which we were walking. And he's like, why don't we go? And I go, yeah, let's do it. And the first like lock in the wild I cracked was in Pittsburgh.
Really?
It was one of those locks that are like on a bridge, like a love lock.
I don't know. What's a love lock?
So basically on bridges, people will lock a thing on the gate of the bridge,
Okay,
right? And
yeah.
it's like meant to signify love. Like this is a lock.
Oh.
Yeah, and like they do it in so many different places. Like in France, there's like one that's like really well known, and there's like thousands of locks on this bridge.
No shit.
And so like other bridges do it too, but it's not as like well known, right? I think it's might have started there.
Okay.
And so it was one of these locks that was on a bridge. So I'd assumed it was like a love lock.
Okay.
And I was working on it, and I was like getting nervous because like, you know, they're watching me. You know how it is when you're
Are
like,
people watching you?
yeah, like Akash was watching me, Tushar Singh, another comic was watching me, Akash's video guy's watching me, and like I have 3 people watching me now.
Okay.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
So, but I did it. I cracked it.
You must have felt like a fucking hero.
Like a G.
Yeah, dude.
Like a G. And then
You turn around, you're like, Adrian.
yeah, I'm just yelling this shit.
Yeah.
So then he goes, all right, yeah, keep the lock. And I go, no, I can't. It's a love lock.
It's a love lock.
Gotta relock it.
Ah,
Yeah.
see, so that's good.
Yeah.
So you're like somehow like a lock picking morality vigilante. in a
Of
way.
course.
So that once you get that first one, I have to believe it's addicting as fuck.
Absolutely.
Every lock. Now you're seeing locks where no one sees locks.
100%. Every time I walk this bridge near my house, I see all the locks. Every time I look at a door, I look at the way that the lock is structured. Is it upside down? Is it right side up? Those types of things.
No fucking way.
Yeah, you think about it a lot. You obsess about it. You wonder. You think about different types of locks, and you're like, how do I do this? How do I do that?
What was the most like ballsy? Like, did you break into houses? Did you break?
I won't break into houses because that's like wrong. You know what I mean? I've done that as a kid.
I didn't know if you could just break into buildings just to do it. Just to know that like I could if I needed to. I'm not saying you don't have to. If you don't-
No. Of course, I don't feel weird about any of this stuff. Like we were in an Airbnb in Pennsylvania, like months later in Philly,
Yeah.
and I locked one of the room doors intentionally just to crack it open to see if I could.
Wow.
And I could. It
And
took
you
me a
did.
while. Yeah, but it's like it also comes down to, do you want to be this kind of guy? That's like, now it's a slippery slope.
It sure is.
Like the difference between a hero and a villain is just one small line, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I help or I hurt.
You're like
know?
right. Yeah. You're like having cigarettes while you drink.
Exactly.
That's what you're doing.
What do you mean by that, though?
Well, eventually you're gonna start smoking the next morning.
Yeah.
And then you're buying packs.
Right.
And then you're bumming them.
So you're saying
Then
it's
you're-
a slippery slope that I can end up into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, you're doing it casually. You're
Right.
doing it for fun. You're doing it, and then all of a sudden it's like, fuck, man. Like I bought a pack last night.
Right.
Now you have them.
Yes.
Now you're like, might as well have one. I bought them.
The only
Now you're a smoker.
right. But the thing is this, though. You want to know why I don't? Because I trust me. Yeah.
I trust me.
Yeah. Like for
That's
example,
man.
same thing with smoking and drinking. I don't do. My rules are different. I don't. This is a new one, but the drinking rule. This has been happening for like almost 10 years now. I don't drink in America.
No way.
That's the rule.
That's a pretty fucking incredible rule.
Yeah. I don't recommend it. It's tough.
It's the one place that you should drink.
It's the one place, yeah, you
fucking, I
need
don't
to.
want to remember.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a place
like,
to drink.
More homelessness.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
of course, yeah. Oh, Medicare is a joke. You mean the fact that people look at Medicare and it should be something that not everyone should be able to afford.
Right.
And the fact that we look at it that way is insanity.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's absolute madness. The entire country is madness, so understandably, it's easy to drink, and you should want to.
Yes.
But I don't drink in America.
Okay.
That's the rule.
So, like, does Canada count?
If I'm working, Canada, it's not. It won't work.
Okay.
If I'm visiting on vacation, then that's a different story.
Do you travel out of the country a lot?
No.
So you're not rarely are you drinking?
I'm not like, it's not like I'm sitting my car downstairs. I'm ready to go to Toronto, so I can drink Jameson on the. No. I don't treat it like that. It's like, for example, the last time I drank was maybe over 400 days ago.
Nice.
That was in Portugal.
Okay.
And before that was 3 years ago. That was Italy.
Is there a reason why?
I wasn't good at it when I was younger, and now I just don't see the necessity in it. And then now it's like I still want to be able to. If you go to Italy, you got to try the wine.
Sure.
If you go to Portugal, you got to try their.
So it's more part of like the food and culture and the experience of the whole place.
I'm not trying to get like banged out of my head. I'm still on vacation. You don't want to be hungover.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I drank a ton. I barely drink anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I started young and I hit it hard.
Yeah, of course. We all do.
All the way through.
Yeah.
And then when comedy hit, I was like, oh, it's like camp. Like finally people I like being around.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are people who get it. Like, you know, that whole thing of like, you and I cannot know each other.
Right.
Meet and have a 5-hour conversation. Someone I've known forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't want to talk to you.
I was in Portugal and I was doing, I went to a comedy club.
Okay.
Rafi Bastos was there.
Yeah.
He was in town doing shows.
No shit.
So me and my girl, him and his wife grabbed dinner together. It's our last night in Portugal, Dina, not my girl.
Yeah.
And we get dinner and then my girl goes back to her hotel. His wife goes back to her hotel. And Rafi's like, I'm going to go do a set. You want to come with me? I go, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I go with him to some comedy club in Lisbon, and it's all in Portuguese. So I pull out my phone. I use Google Translate. I'm following along his set.
Whoa.
I'm actually able to give him notes. Real piece of shit on my end. I'm translating. I still got notes for the guy. I'm such a piece of trash, truly. And I'm like, this part's really good. What about this part? And he goes, you. And I was like, yeah, translate. But the thing is, to your point, afterwards, I meet the guy that's rolling around town with him, who's from Brazil. And 5 minutes into talking to him, Comedy's comedy. Yeah.
It's like just this universal thing.
Right.
It really doesn't matter.
And we were both talking about being hateful assholes.
Really?
Yeah. And we died laughing at how ridiculous you could be, that you could be this person in a completely different country.
Yeah.
Because we're not all that shit's surface level, right? The religion, the diet, the looks, all of it's surface level. Underneath is those basic things that we can all
humanity.
Yeah, humanity.
Yeah, right.
That we can bond together over.
You're not a hateful asshole, are you?
I mean, I can partake.
Dabble.
You know, yeah.
Smoke when you drink.
Yeah. Well, now the new thing that I've added is I won't smoke in America either.
Cigarettes,
yeah,
weed,
cigarettes, just cigarettes. Yeah. Weed, I don't count that as a problem.
No.
I've never been addicted to weed.
Do you have an addictive personality per se?
I think at this point,
no, because you learned how to pick.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you, if I knew how to do that, there's a lot of things I think if I knew how to do, I would just fucking do it.
Like, what do you mean?
Pick locks.
Okay, you would. Okay.
If I knew how to break into cars, I think I would break into cars.
Yeah.
I think I would totally. What I would like to. What I'd want to do is like, I don't know, in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'd like to just like break into cars and like rearrange them.
This
like
is
just nothing bad. Like I don't want to steal cars.
That's slippery. That's very slippery.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the reason why, if I could break into a car, the reason why I wouldn't want to do it is because I don't want to put that fear in another person that someone else had invaded their space. And it's not the law that bothers me.
It's the person.
It's the person.
I wouldn't want to like invade their space.
Yeah.
I'd even like put the car back.
Yeah.
I just like that's a thing that if I knew how to do it, I think I would constantly do it.
Fortunately, breaking into cars is extremely difficult.
Oh, nowadays I bet it's fucking impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible, and it wasn't easy then either because they're double-sided locks.
Really?
Yeah, like if you look at a car key,
The latch thing.
No, but like, I guess I could do that too.
The coat hanger.
Yeah,
in
the coat
window.
hanger and that. Yeah, you could do that as well. I've done that. I've broken in my own car.
My first day of college,
Mm-hmm.
Southern Connecticut State University. I am smoking a bowl of hash
Yeah.
in my car, and out of a metal bowl, I mean, a real fucking winner,
Yeah.
you know? And I hollowed out the fucking armrest of my Ford Taurus so I could keep weed and bowls and lighters and shit
Beautiful.
in there, right?
I love it.
Driving around constantly with fucking,
I love it.
I get out of the car high as shit. Like the smoke is still like
Yeah.
lingering in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I shut the door, locked, the keys are in it.
Mm-hmm.
I look up and it's like staff parking.
Yeah.
So now I'm in a teacher's spot.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I own is in the car. It's locked.
Yeah.
There's mists of hash smoke everywhere, and I had to get like campus security to come rig the door, open it.
Yeah.
I was like, I was smoking in there. Like I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like I
Right.
figure if I'm honest, you know.
And what they felt
They were like, they laughed at me. I gave
Yeah.
the guy a $20 bill, and I just drove home. And I dropped out of school, and I realized I'm not ready for this.
that's beautiful.
I'm not ready for this.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck am I doing?
right.
And it was that moment of kind of like, I shouldn't be. Why am I wasting their time?
Yeah.
That seat could be someone else's that maybe like
Right.
would take this education
What a teachable
seriously.
moment that you didn't miss.
I was so ashamed of myself.
Well, yeah, of course, as you should be. It's
Yeah.
it's embarrassing behavior.
I mean, it's all
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, no, every part of it's
And
wrong.
I'm like,
man.
I don't belong.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. But I'm saying like that was such a teachable moment, and you didn't miss the moment.
No.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Like that's the part that, well, one, I don't think that you give yourself enough credit with that because you're just bulldozing over it. Like I realize the school's not for me, but you realize that. I was caught peeing in public on campus in my school, and I was like waving my dick in the light, and I thought it was like a car headlight. It was the cop's spotlight. He looked at me waving my dick. He goes, "What are you doing?" And I go, "You're watching me pee."
You go, you're a talking car. What the fuck are you talking about?
I go, "You've got your light on me. Who's the pervert?" That's what I said
Did
to
you
the.
keep peeing?
Yeah, well, yeah, until they came up to me.
Yeah.
And then my buddy was there, and he goes, and the cop's like, no. He needs to figure out why he's wrong. I still stayed in college.
Yeah.
Should have left.
You think you should have left?
Yeah. I should have left.
Why the fuck do we send kids to school so young?
Because we don't know.
And it's a moneymaker.
And it's a moneymaker.
I mean, now we know.
now we know.
When you were in high school, did you have people come to your school and set up table? Wait, how old are you?
I'm 39.
Okay, so yeah, I'm 44, so I have
Yeah.
5 years on you. But when I was in high school,
Yeah.
it was still okay to not go to college
Right.
in the beginning. Like
Yes.
like my freshman year, the tide change from my freshman to senior year was nuts because it was like when I there were kids that were just like, I'm just gonna go cut lawns. I'm just gonna go learn, auto mechanic.
That would never work in an Indian household.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
no chance in hell.
No.
No.
Well, so
The idea of me not going to college my mom would kill herself. She
see,
couldn't handle that.
my parents weren't. They were like, "Do it, go if you want to go," but
Yeah.
I'm the first one in my family to go to college and grad school.
Oh, wow.
But by the time I got to junior year, senior year, they had like fucking assemblies where it was like, if you don't go to college, like you have AIDS.
Yeah.
Like if you don't go to college,
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
is fucked for
Absolutely.
the rest of your life.
100%.
And they were like, you can't get a job like that. They
Right.
would show, here's the salary, and then right next to them would be like the student loan companies
Yes.
that were like
Sally Mae.
Sally
that
Mae,
whore.
Fannie Mac, and all the
Fannie
other
Mae, all those whores.
bunch of jerks, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, sign up. Oh, your parents
Yeah.
can't pay for it?
Right.
We got you.
Exactly.
And then you get to school and you walk onto campus the
Yeah.
first day.
Yeah.
They go sign up for a Visa card and you get 3 blacklight posters of the Doors
Right.
and Bob Marley
of
and
course.
fucking whatever. And you're like,
I'd already had a credit card at that point.
oh, you did?
I got one at a baseball game.
You got a credit card? How old?
I was like
so you're 17, 18?
17, 18 years old.
Fucking, dude.
They were
evil
like,
motherfucker.
they're like, you want a free blanket? And I go, yeah. I was like, sure.
How the fuck? Free blanket sign up for a credit card.
Yeah. So I signed up. They gave me, I walked back with the blanket. I get a credit card with $3,000 limit. I blow that shit immediately. Immediately.
What was the first thing? Where'd you go?
Bottle service.
Oh,
New York City, baby.
Oh, yeah, totally. Right on.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Yep.
Bottle service, fake ID. Let's go nuts. Computer parts.
like
Let's go
bar
crazy. I'm still
tabs,
Indian.
bar
you know? Like,
bar tabs, kegs,
Yeah.
like smoke machines in
Of
the dorm.
course.
Like it was all just about making the party better.
My mom hit me with a bill when I graduated, and I was like, "You wretched bitch."
She held on to it.
She's like, "You have to pay this back." I go, "What? What is this?"
Oh, wait, the whole college?
Not the whole thing.
That
like,
credit card.
but not just that, but like a bunch of like student loans. I got hit
Sure.
with student
Oh,
loans, all
yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
I had to pay that money back.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's all a hustle. Now you could literally become anything you want to be by just YouTube alone.
Literally.
Anything.
I just hope that changes with this next generation. I hope that they're seeing what we did stupidly when it comes to like just
Oh,
debt.
absolutely.
Do these kids know better than we do about
Yes,
debt?
they do. They do. I'm here to tell you, they absolutely do.
Good. I don't know
Yeah.
a lot of young.
No, you don't. Yeah, it's fine if you don't. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, they know better. Our dogs know better than us.
Our dogs definitely know better than us.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
All the entire scam of college, it was a complete waste of time. I should have. But the thing is this, so you had the wherewithal to pay attention to the signs. I don't think I paid attention to the signs until I was probably 26, 27.
Okay.
Then I started to pay attention to the signs about everything. I remember being in Amsterdam. I was working at New York Life Insurance Company, and I worked in the complaint department. I reviewed complaints.
Ugh.
Horrible job.
Yeah.
People were fine that I worked with. They were actually pretty cool, and they got it. They're like, this is what I want to do, But I started doing stand up, and my buddy's like, hey, you want to come visit me in Europe? And I go, sure, because he had lost his job. He's backpacking through the country, collecting unemployment, doing it right. Ends up meeting this girl on the train. They get together. They got married. This is a Queens guy who used to be delivering pizzas, now living in Milan with 2 kids.
No kidding.
Yeah, beautiful.
He
did it. He did it.
That's the craziest that he did do it.
Right, and this is the thing. So me and him are backpacking. This before, I think, a couple months before he met this girl, and we go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You want to do mushrooms?" And I go, "Yeah, let's do mushrooms." We do mushrooms. We're walking around this park, and it's just the only day when the sun was peeking in and out. You've done mushrooms, of course. It's crazy, and it's when the sun came out. I literally watched every leaf, every blade of grass turn its attention towards the sun. And I go, man, I just realized how insignificant I am, right? But that's not where the lesson is, right? And I'm just watching everything pay attention to the sun. And when the sun goes away, everything's like, all right, well, we'll chill until the sun comes back out. And me and my buddy were just walking around the park, and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him, and I'm going, man, in 24 hours, I'm going to be back under those fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, and I was wearing the same clothes I generally wear at work. And I go, I'm going to be wearing this stupid purple dress shirt. I'm going to be wearing these stupid pants. I can't believe I'm wearing this when I'm doing mushrooms.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I got to go back to this office. What the hell am I doing? And my buddy's just walking to him. He goes, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
Nice.
And a couple months later,
Quit.
I got laid off.
Ah.
They're like, you could take a Series 7 exam and we'll give you a better job. We'll basically double your salary, or we're going to get rid of your position and you're going to get laid off. And I have somebody, a guy I used to go to work with, he was like, you should ask about a severance. Asked about the severance. They had one of those. And I took all that money that I got from severance. I paid off my student loans, got myself out of debt. And then I said, I'm going to chase comedy.
Wow.
I was only 3 years in at the time.
Sure.
And I was making $50 a month
Doing
stand up. I mean, like,
you were killing it.
I mean, even my girlfriend at the time, who was a comic, was like, "Are you out of your mind? You have no business doing it. You're an idiot.
Right.
You make no money.
Yeah,
And in fact, you drink more than you're making money." And I go, "You're right." But I said, "Man, this is that trip in the park. That was the sign.
That's the sign.
You got to pay attention to the signs."
So funny that you say that. That's
Yeah.
I think all comic. I wonder if all comics have that, but we do have those. I remember, so I did a lot of sales jobs before fully,
What were the weirdest shits you've sold? Like, what was the weirder things that you've sold? Because I worked a lot of sales jobs too.
Well, I mean, I worked for payroll companies,
Okay.
big payroll paychecks, ADP.
Yeah.
Worked for all of them, where
Yeah.
you go learn how to
Mhm.
do presentations and all that other shit.
I did Hoover vacuums.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I went on a call. Oh man,
Yeah.
in the newspaper.
Mhm.
Okay, dating myself. In the newspaper, there was an ad one summer that said, "Do you like sports?"
Yeah.
I like Hi, I like sports. I'm Mike.
Yeah, 7-digit number, not even an area code.
Right. No, totally,
Yeah.
right? And it's meet at this parking lot at this time.
Right. The same thing that people who say to get people into comedy clubs, do you like comedy?
Do you like Yeah, do
It
you like
works.
sports?
Do you like sports?
I'm like, I fucking love sports.
This guy's talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly this is a sign from God.
Right.
I'm the only one that likes sports.
Yeah.
So I call, they go, come to this parking lot.
Right.
You meet these guys in the parking lot, they're wearing suits, whatever. You had to wear a suit. Of
course.
You get there and they're on the drive to Massachusetts to some like apartment complex for like elderly folks where they're going to sell bunk oil change packages. Okay. Literally, like, it's like you're selling a package, like, sign up for this.
Yeah.
And we'll take care of all your maintenance and blah. And these people are like literally falling for this. But it's like if you sold X amount of packages,
Yeah.
you got put in a sweepstakes to get Yankee tickets.
Of course you did.
Do you like sports?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll lie to fucking elderly humans to maybe get Yankee tickets.
Yeah,
when I could just go buy fucking Yankee tickets.
Absolutely.
So we go
Yeah.
do this thing, and I'm with this guy all day. And once I see what he's doing, and I see right through it, and I'm like, no. And he's like, wait. He's like, I'm training him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
ma'am, you don't want to do this.
Right.
I'm like, you do not. And he turns to me, and he's like, what? And he's like,
Yeah.
stop it. And I'm like,
Yes.
don't buy these.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, you can't do this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
pay me not to. I'm
Right.
like, you're fucking stealing from people.
Yeah.
So he drove me back to Connecticut. I ruined his day. He
Right.
wouldn't talk to me.
Did he give you money?
No, he didn't give me money. I ruined his whole day, you know?
Yeah.
But so he had to like but I'm like, this is fucking awful. You people should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah, of course.
So that was my first taste in sales. But then I met people who did it for like a career.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, so you could kind of have a soul and
Right.
provide services. And if it's business to business, then you're basically getting just other businesses to give
Yes.
them you their money, whatever. And then I got into that, and I was just too soul sucking for me.
The thing is this, it's like standing next to all sales to me is like standing next to a soul sucking machine.
Of course.
And realistically, you just reach a point where you then have to decide how much you want to hold on to and if you want to get rid of it all.
Right.
Because if you get rid of it all, then you could be good at it.
Yeah.
But if you want to hold
yeah.
on to some of it, you're always going to be in this weird place.
Yeah.
And I've worked so many jobs where it was that kind of like also servers. They have to ask themselves a question after a while. It's like, are they willing to let themselves become stereotyping and racist and awful and lose faith in humanity?
Yeah.
And any human job like that, you got to ask yourself, when is that limit?
I mean, I remember being in San Francisco and one of the, like, probably one of the most brutal weekends of me talking to a server. Everywhere I ate, the servers were like, basically just like, go fuck yourself.
Right.
And then I went to the club and I'm like, what the hell's going on with, and they're like, Google employees beat the shit out of these people. They just expect to be talked shitty to. So they come with a shitty attitude.
Yeah.
So they're just used to being like browbeaten, you know, and they're just like, it doesn't matter if you're nice to them. They're just a dick.
Yeah.
You know, right off the rip. So it's kind of like, yeah, I get that.
This might be a little racist, but I also think that, I mean, I've seen like sometimes a lot of Indian people just like not be good with servers. I don't know if that's a thing. I've seen it just happen where they're just like not making eye contact, and I think it might be something to do with the heritage of like caste system and looking down at these kinds of people because they're in a lower position than they are, so they don't even bother looking at them.
That's interesting. And I always think it's strange to be condescending to anyone touching your food.
Nobody's thinking that.
But I'm thinking,
I mean, no. I mean, I'm thinking that.
but
I'm saying these people aren't thinking
I
that.
almost wish there was an option to tip first.
Yes.
So then please don't spit in my food.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, here's the tip.
Yeah.
Just let's handle with care.
Wash
your hands.
Ever eat with somebody who's like like you're like, oh, this person, like eat with somebody who has terrible etiquette towards the server. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the worst is that sort of like passive aggressive, like hey toots kind of bullshit. And
Yes.
it's like, yo, dude.
Yeah.
Ease up, man.
I've seen that. I've seen the let me get and just not even looking at the person.
Man.
I've been that person.
Yeah.
I've been that person.
We've all been that person.
But it's just like watching that happen where I'd have to come back later and slip them a 20. And I still
sorry about that.
I'm sorry about that. I've been in situations where we've come back because the person we were with under tipped.
Yeah.
And we came back and tipped more.
Of course.
But you still feel gross because you're like, listen, this is the person I got to hang with.
I know.
Yeah.
And then you go like, what? How am I friends with you? Like, what does
Right.
it say about me that I go out to eat with you?
Exactly.
That's why I go out by myself all the time.
You eat by yourself?
As much as possible. I hate eating with people. Do you like eating with people?
I mean,
I hate eating with people.
like, just you're going to be in a restaurant for one? Table for one?
As often as I possibly can.
What are you, vegan? Like, that's
No, I
crazy.
just don't want to. Like, I give me. There's certain things I
Yeah.
just want my. I don't mind driving alone.
Driving
I
alone
don't
is
mind
fine.
eating alone.
Eating alone is crazy.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's wild. What are you?
why?
What you gonna face a wall?
No, you face your food and then you get on with your fucking day.
Yeah,
What if you're like super slow of an eater and I'm fast?
Okay.
Then I got to sit there and be like, come on, dude. And now you're
Yeah.
feeling rushed.
Yeah.
Because I'm done.
Right.
Then I feel like a dick because you think I'm rushing you. And it just turns into this fucking Jenga tower of
This
misconceived.
is so great. I will say this. My girl hates going out to eat with me in the regard that after the meal is over, I want to be thrown out.
Let's go.
I want if there's no dessert, I want the check under the entree.
Yes.
Slip it under there, boot me out.
Dude, there have been times where I just went before I order, I just put my credit card on the table.
Yes.
And I'm like, let's expedite
Yes,
this fucking.
I love Chinese restaurants because of that. They are so disrespectfully kick you out the door.
They're just like, go.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love.
it's
They have it
assembly
ready.
line.
They're holding the dish that's too hot with your check.
honestly, yeah, that's how they're keeping their thumbs from getting
Yeah, that's how they're doing it. They're just ready to drop it off.
Yeah, that's so true.
And be like, we don't serve dessert.
So if I'm eating alone, I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about any of your
I
shit.
get it, but I still like company.
Afterwards.
Right.
After.
So you would rather? What about you? You're married.
No, I know.
Well, how does she deal?
I mean, she's a different story. I make exceptions.
Okay.
She eats like a what eats slow? A sloth.
Your
She
wife's
eats very, very slow, and she takes her
She
time.
definitely doesn't listen to this
and
podcast.
she enjoys it.
Yeah.
Well, no, why does sloths eat terrible?
I mean, it's
weird.
just-
that
it's
a
just weird to
sloth's a
call-
No, I didn't call her a sloth.
Okay, she eats
slow
like a sloth.
like
Okay.
a sloth walks across the street.
Okay, all
there
right.
we go.
Yeah,
Is that
there we
better?
go. That's better.
I
yeah.
can't think of an animal that eats slow.
Yeah.
But
She
she
grazes.
takes- no, you know what she does?
Yeah.
She enjoys life.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking like in a rush to go
Just
nowhere.
shoveling it down.
I eat like people are trying to take it from me, which is why I'm fat.
Yes.
So I just
Yes.
I don't know. It's an abandonment thing.
I eat the same way.
Yeah, I eat super quick.
Right.
And then I'm like, all right, let's go.
Right.
And she's like, can I please finish my.
If my girl has a glass of wine
Oh my God.
and she's not finishing it with the entree and we're not getting dessert, I'm like just sitting there going, whole glass, huh?
you haven't even touched it.
Yeah, I'm like, you couldn't partial this, parse this thing out.
Oh,
You couldn't do any. You couldn't take any sips. The food was that full of juice.
I mean, just fucking parse it out.
Yes.
2 bites, sip.
Sip. 2
2
bites,
bites,
sip. Yeah, stop. Man, you're convincing me.
Eat
you're
alone.
You're convincing me. It does. You do look like a psycho, though.
I don't give a
when
shit.
You're just facing a wall.
Stay away
Like,
from me.
It's like you're grounded. It's like you're
No, I get extra grumpy.
on. Fanoia, you eat like you're in timeout.
Yes, totally.
That's crazy.
But
town.
I'm put myself in timeout.
Yeah. Self-imposed timeout's crazy.
It's not a bad thing.
No,
it's
it's
called
not.
meditation.
Yeah. Okay.
I like eating alone because I don't have to worry about it. There's a lot of things that I wish I could do alone. Like if I could go to a concert alone,
Right.
I would.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to deal with everybody else's bullshit.
The speed.
You know?
How their speed works.
That's
I get
why
it.
I got a pack of people for
Yeah.
each thing. I got my
Really?
concert buddies.
Yeah.
If someone else is like, oh, let's go to a concert, I'm like, no, I'm not going to that one.
Yeah. Movie buddies too.
Movie buddies.
There's certain people. I once went to a movie with a guy, and I didn't. He was a good dude that I liked. I enjoyed his company, and then I found out he had a tick.
Like a tick?
No, he would make that noise.
Oh.
We went to the movies together.
Oh, that's the last time.
That's it.
Yeah.
It ruined the entire
And
friendship.
he's at home like, what did I do?
Yes.
You have a tick, you dum-dum.
Yeah, you're clicking he'd click his tongue.
Oh, man.
We were in the movie at one point, and this is like a theater that's like not the most, it's like a neighborhood that's a little spicy. Like at one point, some woman's like, who the fuck making that noise?
Really?
Yeah.
And you're like,
I'm leaning this way. Yeah, I'm leaning
that is
away.
bad news.
Yeah, I
dude.
mean, fortunately, he knew how to fight, so it's like, fine, whatever.
But the thing is like we're making great points for loneliness.
Yeah.
Or there's being alone and there's
Yes.
being lonely. I
Yes.
went to Hawaii for 2 weeks alone.
Wait, why?
Yeah.
Why?
I had a trip, a sales trip. So I
Yeah.
did well in sales. So they give you this, like, it's called President's Club. So, like, if you sell X amount of dollars,
Right.
all expense paid trip to whatever place. One year
Yeah.
is Monte Carlo, one
Right.
year's like Hawaii, one year's Bahamas, whatever. So the year I got it, it was the big island of Hawaii. I was engaged. She was supposed to come with me.
Right.
I broke off the engagement right before the trip,
Jeez.
moved to Denver,
Right.
then did the trip to Hawaii, and I had already extended it a week ahead
Yeah.
and a couple days after. So I was spending like a good 2.5 weeks, the half week with the company.
This is like your sales background and like life, and like your life could have easily become Willy Loman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in like such a sad way.
And I went,
Yeah, you were like, you saw the signs.
well, here's the interesting thing.
and you turn left.
To completely go back to the sign.
Yeah.
The mushrooms and and by the way, I love the idea of like the grass looking at because I had one of those too. I watched leaves fill with sunlight
Yeah.
and then just exploded out as energy into the room one time on
Whoa.
mushrooms, and I'm like,
Whoa.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So
Yo, God, you might be out there,
and I'm
homie.
like, whoa, like,
yeah.
I was like sloth and Goonies,
Yeah.
like one ear's gone. So I was going from one of my sales jobs, selling T-Mobile phones, I think, to the Creek in the Cave,
Right.
and I'm in a suit.
Yeah.
And I got a bag of like a black T-shirt and jeans and you know whatever, and I'm hating myself because I'm in my suit and I'm going
course.
to the Creek, which
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
what a weird
Hipster Central.
right. And I'm
Right.
going in like a Men's Warehouse, fucking you know, a Versini, you know, like a fake name.
Yeah.
3 letters is the same, but the
Right.
last, you know,
Yeah.
Orkleys, like fake Oakleys. I get off the
It's Goosey.
yeah, I get off. Yeah, totally. I get off the subway.
Yeah.
I'm sweaty. I hate I was just sitting there listening to Circle Back and Deep Dive and all this bullshit.
What is
corporate, Just corporate sales words.
Okay, yeah.
Synergy.
Oh,
and,
right. Okay, yeah.
And I turn around and there's when the show Louie was on FX, there were signs on the subway, like, you know, the above the subway
Yeah.
platforms. And it was just Louie's face, and the eyes would kind of follow you everywhere you went.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know,
Yeah.
favorite comic at the time, you know.
Sure.
And like, I get off the subway and I like look at that sign, and he's kind of like looking at me,
Yeah, what are you doing?
right into my soul,
Yeah, what
into
are you
my
do-
fucking Versini suit.
Yeah.
And he's like, the fuck you doing?
Right, of course.
And I was like, that's it. Like, and I'm looking at the Creek, and I'm looking. It was
Yeah.
that Vernon Jackson stop.
Yeah, it's Dolce and Cabana.
yeah, really.
Right.
And I'm just looking at like, I'm like, I got to get this suit, and I quit the job, and that was
Right.
it. I was just like, forget about it.
Yeah.
I can't do this dual existence anymore.
Of course.
And it's funny because saying it makes me think about. I had a class in college one time, visual journaling. So you would write and then you draw what you wrote. It was a
Okay.
real.
I mean, this
Real
is
game
this is some
changer.
granola ass course.
No, this was
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what is an English major
Yeah,
in
of
New
course.
England. This is what you
Yeah,
did,
I was
right?
an English major in Albany.
So you get
Yeah,
it.
of course,
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
You did a bunch of drawing your words.
I had to write a letter. We had to bring in a piece of work that we were proud of.
Yeah.
And mine was writing a letter to Nintendo.
The machine or the actual
to the
corporation?
company.
What'd you write to Nintendo?
I told them your newest system stinks. I think that I can help fix
was it
this.
64 days?
It was no. It was the GameCube.
Okay.
And I was like, I can turn this company around. Attached is my resume.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bold.
Yeah.
I remember drawing a picture of a guy 1 foot in the city. It was split down the middle. One side of this guy was a suit with like standing on a street.
Yeah.
And there's traffic and horns and buildings, and it ends in fire.
Yeah.
And then the other side were steps in the snow going to a cabin.
Good God.
In the woods. And it was just this divided like existence thing that I felt like I was always kind of battling with or whatever.
Of course.
And apparently comedy's the cabin in the woods or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's just this thing of kind of like, what are we doing? Like, why am I doing this thing that makes me so uncomfortable?
Yeah.
It's going to be a struggle. Fuck it.
Right.
And that was like when you start paying attention to the signs.
Yeah, and look at it as now. It's the middle of the day.
We're doing it.
We get to do whatever the hell we want.
Exactly.
Literally every time I think about that, I go, I can do anything I want.
That's right.
Like sometimes I won't have shows for like maybe a few days.
Yeah.
Like let's say it's a Sunday night. I get back from a show. Yeah. I look at my calendar and I go, I don't have to be anywhere till Friday 8 p.m.
Yeah. It's a good feeling.
That's such an insane situation.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean that is the steps into the snow. That's the leaves exploding.
It's the path we choose.
Yeah,
Right.
from the signs.
That's right.
They're all there.
So
All right.
was this a bad podcast?
No, I think it was actually really good. I don't
thought
know.
it was
These people don't know who the hell I am. I don't know if that matters.
I thought it was pretty good.
Do you do an intro for these things?
Later.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You want me to do it now?
No. I don't want to hear you read ads.
I already read the ads for this.
Oh,
month.
beautiful. Fantastic.
Can you tell everybody that's listening where they could find you?
Oh yes, absolutely. You could find me at All Day KCA is my social media handle. So you could do that. That's on Instagram, TikTok, my website. But then it also reroutes into Kunal Aurora. And then the podcast that I do right now, it's with this girl that I went to high school with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's
What's that podcast?
It's called
Tell me about it.
basically what we do is we're both New Yorkers, you know.
We didn't even get into that. God damn it! You got to come back.
Sure, I'd love to, but like we're both New Yorkers, but we're not your prototypical New Yorker, right? Because like when you think of a New Yorker, you might think of Upper West Side money. You might think of in the hood thuggish guy. You might think construction worker. You might think, you know what I mean? Like I'm walking over here, like that kind of New Yorker, right? But me and her are not like that, you know. Like she's, I think half Greek, half some other God knows what, and you know I'm all Indian. But like when you meet us, like we're New Yorkers, man, born and bred,
Right.
and it's just like that's the part that I really like is that we're both New Yorkers, we both get it. But then the podcast is where we take we have squabbles, people have submissions, they write in,
Oh yeah.
and then we figure out who sucks.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so you pick who sucks.
Yeah. And sometimes is
Such a New York thing to do.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We're letting you know who stinks. And it's called You Both Suck.
You both suck.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So check it out.
I appreciate you hanging.
Thank you for having
Come
me.
back and we got to talk about what it's like to grow up in New York.
100%.
I'm dying to know. I
Don't-
see kids walking around and I'm like, what the fuck?
Don't
is
ever do
that
it.
like?
Don't ever. If you decide to have kids,
Yeah, I'm having them in Vermont.
okay, yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna have them drop them off in Vermont.
That's it.
And when they're 18, I'll come get them.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. They'd be better off than you being there every day
Yes.
in Queens.
I agree.
Okay? It's better if you and your wife dropped a kid in Vermont and both left, it'd be better off than raising a kid in New York City.
With love.
With love.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm taking that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a blast.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.